When it comes to rock legends who've lived life like a full-throttle roller coaster with zero regard for the seatbelt sign, few loom as large as Ozzy Osbourne, a pioneer of heavy metal, a reality TV icon, and the man who once made headlines for turning birds and bats into stage props, and not in the Disney way. Ozzy was more than just a musician. He was a cultural hurricane. On July 22, 2025, less than a month after his final performance on a dark throne that would have made Dracula jealous, Ozzy Osbourne passed away at 76. Surrounded by his family and flooded with love, the man fans knew as the Prince of Darkness exited this world in a way that was far quieter than the decibel-breaking legacy he left behind. While his family didn't disclose the exact cause or time of death, fans had long witnessed Ozzy's physical decline. In 2019, he was diagnosed with a rare genetic condition similar to Parkinson's disease, which eventually robbed him of his ability to walk. For someone whose stage presence once rivaled a pyrotechnic show on steroids, seeing him use a cane and need help to move sparked concern, and unfortunately, internet hoaxes. Deepfaked videos of Ozzy claiming to be on his deathbed circulated online, prompting his daughter Kelly to snap back on Instagram. Yes, he has Parkinson's. Yes, his mobility is different, but he's not dying. What is wrong with you people? As it turns out, he really was in worse shape than most suspected. And when the inevitable happened, tributes flooded in from across the globe. Black Sabbath's official tribute simply read, Ozzy Forever. Fitting for a man whose life felt anything but temporary. From Birmingham blunders to metal glory. Born in Birmingham, England, a city that sounds like it was invented just to produce legendary rockers, John Michael Ozzy Osbourne grew up with an inferiority complex that followed him like an overzealous fan. Money was tight and hygiene. Let's just say it wasn't exactly a family value. Ozzy once shared a soul-crushing memory of being sent home from school for being too dirty. Talk about a confidence killer. School wasn't much better. Struggling with reading and focus, Ozzy felt like the odd one out. It wasn't until later in life that he discovered he was dyslexic. At the time, he thought he was just slow, which, considering he would later front Black Sabbath, is ironic to say the least. Despite his academic woes, Ozzy did find one area to shine: music, and not just the headbanging variety. In school, he took part in Gilbert and Sullivan musicals. That's right, before he was shouting at bats, he was warbling through the Mikado. Ozzy the failed outlaw. Before Ozzy Osbourne became a household name for rock antics and reality TV chaos, he dabbled in burglary. Briefly, very briefly. As he later admitted, I tried a bit of burglary. I was useless. After a stint as a teenage thief, which ended after about 12 minutes, he got caught. His father had the chance to bail him out but refused. I could have paid the fine, he told Ozzy, but I wanted to teach you a lesson. Message received. Crime doesn't pay, unless you're a rock star biting the heads off animals on stage. After that detour, Ozzy tried some more conventional jobs. He worked as a horn tuner. Yes, that's a real thing. He stood on a factory line and adjusted car horns with a screwdriver until they honked just right. He also tried his hand at plumbing, though British winters quickly made him regret that. Freezing my arse off was how he eloquently described it. Safe to say, music was the warmer career path. White doves, beheaded bats, and career moves. In 1981, Ozzy parted ways with Black Sabbath and launched a solo career that would prove just as outrageous as his previous life. His manager and future wife, Sharon, organized a record label event where Ozzy was supposed to release white doves into the air, a poetic, symbolic gesture. But poetic wasn't Ozzy's vibe. Drunk and disinterested, he apparently looked at a PR rep, asked if she liked animals, and then bit the head off a dove. Twice, she screamed. Ozzy was promptly banned from CBS offices. So much for subtlety. The most infamous animal-related moment came in 1982 when, during a concert in Des Moines, someone threw what looked like a rubber bat on stage. Ozzy, being Ozzy, chomped down. Spoiler, it was real. Cue emergency rabies shots, and a rock legend was born. Ozzy versus science. You'd think decades of drug and alcohol abuse would leave a man barely coherent. Not Ozzy. Scientists involved in the Human Genome Project were so baffled by his longevity that they decided to sequence his DNA. The results? He had rare gene variants that helped his body tolerate drugs and alcohol in ways most people can only dream or hallucinate about. Ozzy summarized it best. "There's really no plausible medical reason why I should still be alive." Science agreed. Life as an MTV star. When the Osbournes premiered on MTV in 2002, it was like the Brady Bunch. If the dad screamed at the furniture and the mom cursed at the dog, Ozzy, Sharon, and their kids Kelly and Jack became instant icons of messy, hilarious dysfunction. But behind the scenes, Ozzy hated it. Initially tempted by the paycheck, he didn't realize the toll that 24/7's cameras would take. "You try having a camera crew living in your house for 3 years," he said, "and tell me how sane you feel at the end." Spoiler, he felt like a lab rat. Even taking a private pee felt like a public event. The Patch Adams moment. In one of the more touching chapters of his life, Ozzy called on Robin Williams, yes, the Patch Adams himself, when Sharon was diagnosed with colon cancer. She had refused chemo, spiraling into despair. Desperate, Ozzy reached out to the late comedian, who showed up and, within minutes, had Sharon laughing uncontrollably. Their daughter Kelly remembered hearing her mom go from tears to full-on laughter upstairs. The next day, Sharon resumed treatment. Robin Williams, man, forever the MVP of emotional rescues. Ozzy's wine bar fiasco. Before his solo career took off, Ozzy briefly flirted with owning a wine bar. He bought one for his first wife, Thelma, in Newport. It lasted all of a month before she asked him to get someone else to manage it. Why? Because Ozzy was drinking the inventory. "People weren't coming in because I was mad and drinking the profits," he said. Even after selling it, the locals still called it Ozzy's Wine Bar. It eventually shut down in 2012 but was reborn as a sports bar called, you guessed it, Ozzy's, because of course it was. From bullied kid to bandmate. When Ozzy joined the musicians who'd formed Black Sabbath, there was some awkward tension. Guitarist Tony Iommi had apparently bullied him back in school. "He used to beat me up," was the rumor. But Ozzy clarified, "He never beat me up, we just didn't hang out." Either way, when Iommi responded to an ad for a guitarist, he immediately recognized Ozzy and almost bailed. Thankfully, Ozzy convinced him to stay, probably helped by the fact that he owned a PA system. Practicality for the win. The legacy of a legend. From gritty beginnings in Birmingham to becoming the godfather of metal, Ozzy Osbourne was a walking paradox. Part demon, part teddy bear. A man who defied death, science, and public decency, sometimes all at once. He was the guy who couldn't spell success in school, and then spelled it with platinum records. The same guy who bit the head off a bat and later brought America to tears through a reality show. In death, Ozzy is survived by the music he made, the family he adored, and the countless stories that sound too wild to be true, but are. He wasn't perfect, but perfection never played a mean guitar riff. Rest in peace, Ozzy, or don't. You were never really great at following the rules anyway. And that, folks, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the life of a true rock legend, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe. Got a favorite Ozzy moment or Black Sabbath song? Drop it in the comments below. We want to hear from the real rockers out there.